This podcast is supported by MIDI Health. Are you in midlife, feeling dismissed, unheard, or just plain tired of the old healthcare system? You're not alone. For too long, women's serious midlife health issues have been trivialized, ignored, and met with a just deal with it attitude. Many of us have been made to feel ashamed or forgotten. In fact, even today, 75% of women seeking care for menopause and perimenopause issues are left entirely untreated. But here's the powerful truth. It's time for a change. It's time for MIDI. MIDI is not just a healthcare provider. It's a women's telehealth clinic, founded and supported by world-class leaders in women's health. What sets MIDI apart? We are the only women's telehealth brand covered by major insurance companies, making high-quality expert care accessible and affordable. Our clinicians provide one-on-one, face-to-face consultations where they truly listen to your unique needs. We offer a full range of holistic, data-driven solutions, from hormonal therapies and weight loss protocols to lifestyle coaching and preventative health guidance. This isn't one-size-fits-all care. This is care uniquely tailored for you. At MIDI, you will join our patients who feel seen, heard, and prioritized. You will find that our mission is clear: to help all women thrive in midlife, giving them access to the health care they deserve. Because we believe midlife isn't the middle at all. It is the beginning of your second act. Ready to feel your best and write your second act script? Visit joinmidi.com today to book your personalized insurance-covered virtual visit. That's joinmidi.com. MIDI, the care women deserve.
Beyond cis male, cis female, non-binary, trans male, there are more.
You're swimming in like the gender soup of different experiences.
Gender is like a marker of time, thinking critically about what inclusion means.
So much of womanhood is tied to whiteness, is tied to thinness.
How do I identify myself? Faggot.
Non-binary.
As femme as humanly possible.
I'm a cisgender gay man.
A binary trans woman.
Theatrical and flamboyant. Dykes who identify as twinks.
A gender conscientious objector.
I just kind of forget that I have a body.
Drag helped me unlock the power of my femininity within a masculine persona.
Transitioning when you're older,
It opens up an entire world of possibilities. I bloomed. I blossomed.
Comfortable in my physical body for the first time in my whole life.
Existing in a more nuanced way.
In thought, in imagination, and fantasy.
My gender in my head feels like the cosmos, just fully unknowable, even to myself.
I wasn't trying to be a gender. I wasn't trying to be a race. I was trying to be a point of energy in the universe.
That's amazing.
I love that.
Ali, how are you feeling? How are you doing? Has life been lifing harder than it's ever lifed before?
Yes. Each week is 60 days.
No, exactly. Yeah. You did kind of a big thing recently.
Yes.
You performed at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, we performed Dungeons and Dragons at Madison Square Garden. My life is a glitch in the Matrix.
How did you explain that to your parents? Well, your parents must know that you do D&D, but did you tell them?
My parents came, a ton of my family from upstate New York, all took the train down, and my uncle got them all free rides because he worked on the train.
Oh,
he worked on Metro North for years.
Okay, King.
So I was like, okay. I'm getting all these photos being like, we're riding for free. And I'm like, that's my family.
It's like you have to let people know when you're getting a deal. It's like, this is for free.
And this is how we bond, is what did you get for free?
Exactly. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was really beautiful. It was so cool to see everyone. It did feel like I was getting married or something because it was like, your big day. And it was like so much energy. And then I completely collapsed the second day and had to just stay in bed for a full day because I was just like, wow, all the adrenaline is leaving my body. This is crazy.
Right. Oh, I wish I had gone so I can finally understand what you do. But I saw it on people's stories. I saw flames and this crazy stage.
Massive
and I'm like, oh my
flames.
fucking God.
So many friends came who had no access point at all. You would have been in good company. Halo came. Like some of my friends posted like, I have no idea what happened tonight, but I had a blast.
I literally don't know what's going on.
I have no idea what happened here.
Wait, okay. Were you nervous? It's like a pretty big crowd.
I was. Yeah, I had this thing with my partner where I was like, I swallowed this bagel wrong. This is the day before. I was like, I swallowed a bagel wrong. It got stuck in my throat for a second, and now I can't eat. And like, that's what's going on with me. And she was like,
there's like a lump in my throat.
Yeah, I was like, it's the bagel. And she's like, that does sound like anxiety. And I was like, oh, oh, thank you for being a beautiful mirror. So yeah, I was just like crazy anxious, but my brain was like denying it. I was like, it's fine.
This is
like, it's going to be
fine.
really large scale, but literally it's just another show. And then my body was like, no, bitch.
Like,
this is
big.
scary.
Well, your brain kind of has to do that to like cope.
Yes.
It has to be like, because if your brain is like, this is a big deal, it's like over. You have to be like, this actually doesn't matter at all. And it's completely fine, you know? Yeah.
I feel like I do like public speaking stuff so much that I think it will never hit me, but you never know. Like, you could just be nervous, like seriously out of nowhere.
Totally.
Are you good at public speaking?
I am really good at public speaking.
That's
I just
right.
think it is one of my strengths. I just like, I do it a lot. And like, I do feel like the veil between like public speaking and radio is very thin. Like you know what I mean? Like I think about speech and like how I'm like conveying things a lot.
Totally.
But I will say, I mean, I used to do like violin when I was a kid. I did like swim team. And so like whenever I had a meet or like a performance, like I have been used to like doing like nerve-wracking things, but like clockwork when I was a kid, and it still happens, like right before like a violin recital, I take like a waist slimming shit. I take the most like waist slimming. And it happened. I did like a little talk at NYU yesterday.
I was gonna ask, how was it?
Like clockwork, waist slimming shit. And I felt so bad because like I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this waist slimming shit. It's gonna like, it's a little awkward, but it's fine. Someone's waiting for me right outside. Like someone's waiting for the bathroom right outside. And I was like, I'm so fucking sorry. Like,
oh my God. To make the longest eye contact of your lived life with the
I was
person.
like, girl, I'm so sorry. Yeah. It's just like, it is your body, right? Because I'm not nervous, but like my body is immediately like, expel.
Totally.
Like we need to let everything go. Like,
we need to be like light on our feet so we can
drop
sprint.
and run. Yeah, exactly. We gotta unload. Oh my God.
That's so. But do you feel good about it? How did it go?
Oh my God, it was amazing. It was actually two folks who are graduate students at NYU, and they went to the Gender Spiral live show, and like they messaged me and were like, would you like to come to NYU? And it's like the sound studies working group, like a post-colonial studies working group, and a gender and sexuality working group. It was amazing. It was like a group of a dozen or so people, and we just like talked about sound and radio, and we talked for like 2 hours, and it was so lovely. So shout out to everyone who was there. Shout out to like Lily who like organized it. Yeah, it was very, very cute. It was lovely. So
oh my God, the purity. I feel like this is kind of perfect to talk about because this is the end of our second season. Do you feel like you've talked to people about the project? Like I was working with someone who's a gender affirming doctor, and they said that they send in the medical portal our episode with Dr. Crystal Beal.
oh my God.
To people like as like medical advice.
Whoa.
And they were just like, this is a great primer. This is a great place to start. And I was like, wait, we've made a resource.
Wait, that's amazing. No, that's what I was trying to talk about yesterday in the talk. You know, it's like very fun and kiki, and we get to like build all these connections and like meet all these amazing people. But I think it is also just like a practical resource of so many different ways to be trans and like how to, you know, like the medical stuff too. So yeah, no, it's so cool. I think I have finally accepted that people listen to it, which has taken me a really long time. In the talk yesterday, I was like, yeah, I just like make stuff like nobody like listens to it. And then like my friend Wen, who was there, was like, I listen to all of your stuff. And I'm just like, whoa. I'm like, why would you want to listen to me talk? And so like I finally like confronted and accepted that people listen to this thing 2 or 3 years in, I finally accepted that people listen to this thing that we make for some crazy reason. That is like so beautiful. And like, I love just like meeting folks and like talking about it. So I feel so proud of it. Like I know, like, especially in the podcast world, like some of the stuff is so corporate and cringy that like this is something I'm actually
American history now.
Exactly. But I actually feel like so fucking proud of this show and just like talking to people about it, which is so cool. It's like such a blessing.
Good feeling.
Okay. On that incredibly earnest note, got a little too earnest there for a second. We are going to look back on some of our favorite moments from this past season that we've had.
I feel like we both had a similar thought that this first one was just going to be what the entire season was about. Yes. We'll talk about it more after.
I found this like very cute, queer, Black, and like trans church.
Wow.
And I be in there every Sunday now, and there's so many Black trans elders. And it's the first time that I've been around that many Black trans women that were grown for real. Yes. Like I be about other Black trans women, but they my age and we all dumb in the club talking about boys. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm in church with older bitches that's talking about God. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that this was like possible.
Wow.
Yeah, they have like a really, really deep impact on me. I appreciate Christian church so much more now after African religion, after becoming a crown priest. Like now I get it. Now I'm like, bitch, my ancestors get lit in here. Like I know my egun love when I go to church. I know when I'm walking around my house cleaning and I'm singing gospel songs, and I know they love that shit. I know they eat that shit up. But I also think I'm able to receive it more now because I'm engaged with my egun and because I'm engaged with my ancestors. So now I'm able to be like, oh, y'all getting free how I get free.
I was just talking to my brother about Christianity. He's Christian. And then we always get into the topic of aliens. And we were talking about Jesus Christ.
I know. And
I was like, well, I think he got killed because he was a witch and probably Palestinian. And if anybody is like born a peasant, is giving power to the lowest class of people, performing miracles, what do people do to them? You kill them. That's like what power does, or the recognition of power. And then my brother was like, and he was probably an alien because humans can't do that stuff. I was like very anti-Jesus. I was raised Christian. I was anti all that stuff. And I had to get away from the church to get into my spirituality and then also research the ways in which Christianity has like colonized my people specifically and all the cultures I come from. And I think spirituality is like it's a real need. It's like needing family.
And it is a life source.
It's a life source. It truly, I still don't know what it is, but I'm like, there's something, it might be aliens. My brother might be right.
It might be aliens.
My spirituality and my gender definitely talk to one another. I mean, trans people are literally angels. We are all divine. And I found that even my transness and like desire to medically transition like actually came from divine intervention. Like it felt like a spirit was whispering in my ear that there was a new threshold for me to cross within. Like it, like me starting T didn't even feel like a conscious decision. It like was something that awoke me in the night that was a quest that I had to follow. It was just God telling me that there was a new me that I was going to meet on the other side of this decision. So I had to just walk through the portal and find myself there. And when I think about like all the old versions of myself, like that's God too. And every part of me that brought me to who I am today. And I don't know, trans people, like we live with our past, present, and our future all kind of integrated into one another where, you know what I mean? It's so collapsed where when you're making these decisions or like, you know, injecting whatever you're injecting, or if you're just musing on what your gender is and how you want that to continue to manifest, like that is a promise that your present self is going to make so that your future continues to be aligned, that like cis people just aren't thinking about in that way.
Yeah, we really thought this season was going to be the God Spiral season. And it kind of was. It
was. God, this kind of higher power or like inspiration or whatever was in all of it. But we really were like, every single person we talk to is going to tell us that they are capital C Christian now.
Exactly. Like Jesus Christ. Like every single person is going to talk about like Jesus and like, yeah, exactly. Which wasn't exactly the vibe, but the people that we interviewed who were like so grounded in themselves do have some kind of connection to like some greater power. And that doesn't have to be like capital G God, but like something is there. And it's very inspiring. Like I'm like, oh, I think I want that actually. I think we've talked about how we both kind of want that actually.
Totally. It feels like some people, if there's just some serious like emotional maturity going on. I loved what Bae said about it's like I'm finally meeting like trans elders and they're in church and we're talking about higher power versus like trans girls my age and we're like at the club being stupid talking about boys. Like I'm like, yeah, there has to be a point where you kind of like transcend. It feels a little like you're fighting to get this like self-expression that you want. Oh. And
Clem's like, God?
yeah, Clem's like, I love God. But like once you get there, you enjoy it and you're just kind of like silly stupid for a while and you're like, I'm working out, I'm doing push-pull legs and this is all I'm talking about. And then you're like, oh yeah, God.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're like, oh, there's something else here. Someone's entered the chat.
And I will say, I am squarely in the working out push-pull phase. That's exactly where I'm at right now. I started working out this year and I'm like, this is God. Like, this is actually my religion.
That's real.
And I can't wait to graduate from that. No, I can't wait to like just level on up from there. But no, I mean, it is also like this like connection with like your body and like the grand scheme of things. Like, I think it's about being present. Yeah.
Oh my God, totally.
Did you find God in your meditation retreat?
Yeah, question mark.
Or were you just kind of like, yeah, and maybe that is God.
Yeah, I think the meditation stuff for me is like looking for something deeper or like more ancient. But yeah, it's really crazy to kind of make that jump to like, what are we really talking about here? I feel like my friends who have gotten sober had that like pushed on them. And then they end up benefiting from it so much because you're like, oh, I had to be in this group and talk about my feelings and we had to go deep. And now I have these really intense, beautiful relationships with other people in program, as they say.
Right.
So I'm like, oh yeah, it's cool to imagine like ways to have that from all different backgrounds.
Yes, totally. Oh, maybe we'll get there next season.
Yeah. Next season is your God Spiral. Or you're just like yoked.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, our next one is about music, which was another common theme.
And I think like music is like also God. Like music is also like a religion. Like I will say the person that you're going to hear next, I recently went to a set of hers and I'm like, this is it. Like when I'm dancing and I'm so in it, I'm like, oh, this is like my religion. Like, this is God. I like dance for 2 hours, like nonstop. It's so fucking hot. I'm like overheating, but I'm just like I'm a little dizzy, like, you know.
Water's $14.
Yeah, exactly. Water's $14. No, it's like, I think this goes in perfectly, you know, from God to music.
In a lot of dance music spaces, trans people were just there, you know? I think dance music has just always been a space for queer people in general, so it just kind of felt natural. I don't know, I also think that like my music itself, during a lot of it, was speaking to like gender identity and stuff, like what samples I would choose to sample and like even like what I was naming EPs and stuff like that.
Wow.
Where I was like maybe trying to come out through music at a certain point. And then once I was out, I was like, everything is like about how I'm out, which I think a lot of trans people do and like queer people do in general. It's like maybe even kind of cringy. But it's fine. It's like everyone goes through their phase.
Yeah.
It's like T-girls make electronic music and T-boys make sad guitar music. Like that's the kind of the stereotype, basically.
And those are like going through puberty, like becoming more familiar with your body, maybe through the eyes of a trans feminine experience or trans woman experience. Dance music might make a lot of sense as a way to explore your body, explore being able to dance and like your relationship to your body.
Yeah.
Totally.
Also through the transmasculine experience, maybe like some need to like be angsty in a way that you maybe were never allowed to be.
Totally.
Before,
right.
The project is structured, basically as this kind of concept record, which charts the journey of a spirit that is born and then kind of experiences pain and trauma, but eventually works through that pain and that trauma to come to a state of awakening, acceptance, and ultimately a state of perpetual reinvention, a la the song Ever New by Beverly Glenn Copeland.
It's obviously the trans experience, but I think it's a universal human experience, especially for most of us who are conditioned in this binary system we have to exist in. Our life is like a series of awakenings, right? Of new possibilities within ourselves outside of what's been laid in front of us. And that's what Transa is trying to demonstrate, that, all of our journeys look a little different, but we all, from birth, our parents are trying to tell us to be one type of way. The person on TV, the president, your school teacher, they all are trying to put you into this box, a very marketable box. And we all have to like sort of survive through that.
I think I went into that project and like the idea of this was, I'm going to learn how to fight because I want to confront my own relationship with male violence. And at the time it was like 2015 and I was like trying to figure out what it would be like to be in a space with other men where they didn't know I was trans, because that was something I hadn't experienced. I hadn't had a boyhood. Like, what would it be like? I had cis passing privilege, and so I just wanted to understand, like, how they would treat me and how that might be different than how people treated me who sort of knew about my identity. And also, it was almost like being undercover. Like, what would I see or what would I, experience? And what could it teach me about, I guess, like homosocial masculinity and whatever. And so I had a lot of ideas about the obvious ideas about what that would be like and how it would be problematic in certain ways. And I would have to learn how to like manage it when like a man says something kind of fucked up to me about women or like whatever I thought was going to happen. And certainly there were a few moments like that. But actually what was most surprising and actually kind of heartbreaking to me about the whole thing was that it was actually this very caring space, a boxing gym. It was like a place where men, in my experience, took care of other men because of what I later learned sociologists call the cover of violence.
Right.
It's like whenever you see professional sports guys like touching each other's asses and like hugging, and I had never been touched more in my life than when I was boxing. Truly. I mean, it was just the most physically intimate. And I don't mean just hitting. I mean like, the first time I hit a guy in the face and it was a real punch, he was like, "You believed in your punches." And he hugged me and it was like his nose was bleeding.
I stopped taking tea like 2 weeks ago. Wow. And I've loved so much of what my experience on testosterone has brought into my life. Definitely in like the physical aspects and some of the emotional ones too. But my main reason for slowing down or doing a period of testosterone cleanse or whatever is to get back in touch with my feelings, because I think the main thing for me was feeling completely dislocated from almost any kind of emotion. Before taking testosterone, I identified as like a deeply feeling person who is like super passionate and like gets excited and like has desires and like goes towards them and can really imagine what I want and like run towards it, and feels sad and can cry and can feel just like the full spectrum. In general, I definitely quickly noticed a shift in my emotional landscape on T. And there was relief there in being like, okay, like I don't cry all the time anymore at the drop of a hat or whatever. But, you know, it had been like 2 years. And I think the deeper I got into that experience, I started to just be like, where is any depth of feeling? You know, tears fucking matter. I'm certainly not binary as a person. And I think if we have a criticism, or if I have a criticism of masculinity socially on a large level, it's like how difficult it is for men to express their emotions. Then to experience myself experiencing that was definitely a moment where I was like, you know, I've never wanted to become a man. Like, that's not what my gender story is.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean then for me when I'm experiencing this thing that I associate with the negative parts of masculinity and that I don't want to like lose entirely in myself? What are the scales in between there where I will feel good about my level of emotional experience?
Okay, this, I think, was the original idea of the whole podcast.
Yes. Yes.
It was like, what's up with toxic masculinity? What does a trans masc perspective have to say about that?
Totally.
I loved these episodes.
Oh, me too. No, literally, like, this was what the show was about, especially when, like, I did think I was trans masc, which, like, I'm just not anymore. I loved what Thomas was talking about, of just kind of confirming also that, like, men are gay. Like, men are really gay.
Yes. Yes.
And I also love what Halo said about wanting to get off tea for like a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of always tricky because it's like just testosterone like confirmed like why men are not in touch with their emotions. Like it gets like bioessentialist really quick. Do you know what I mean?
Totally. I completely agree. I thought that was interesting maybe from a like empathy standpoint though, of being like, I'm this trans person. I have a lot of critiques about men and my specifically like my male friends who can't share their emotions. Then I go on T and I'm like, I can't cry.
Yeah, like, okay, like I get it,
like,
actually.
oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe something's afoot.
Right. Maybe something's happening here.
Yeah, I thought that was
And you
really
still need to work through it.
And you still
need to work through that shit.
Through it.
You need to work through that
You
shit.
need to use your words. It doesn't have to be tearful.
Exactly. No, I do love the idea of these gender spies where they're kind of like, with like Thomas, where it's like kind of anthropological, where it's like, okay, I actually kind of get where dudes are coming from a little more, or like, and actually like there are these really like sweet, like boxing actually was this kind of like sweet space where like dudes could be just like affectionate like with each other.
Totally. And you think about like young kids and they're like hugging each other and touching each other. And then there's just this like sharp drop off where it's like boys don't touch each other. And then it comes back through like sports and stuff. And I'm like, it is really interesting, like where these like pockets of like more tenderness are found. Cause like I went to the super Christian college. The guys' dorms, the joke is that they were like super gay. Cause you're like, they're all on top of each other. They're all naked. One person peed on someone else. Like it was in the newspaper. Like it was just like.
It was in the newspaper. Wait.
It was in the fucking newspaper
God.
that someone had been hazed and pissed on. But I'm like, men are not okay.
Yeah.
And they're like really trying to get creative with how to get back to that level of connection that they had as kids.
Totally.
But I'm also like, aren't y'all like smart enough to have figured this out?
I know, like, how is this still a thing? Like, damn.
Like, these are the tools you chose? Boxing and pissing on a freshman?
I know,
like,
exactly.
Let's go to therapy.
No, literally.
Speaking of empathy, which I immediately lost. No, like, I do think that's a beautiful direction. I want to be pushing it a little bit more understanding for what the fuck is going on there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm probably also just not the right person to speak on this because, like, I just don't have that many man friends.
Yeah.
To be honest.
You know what's so crazy? I have a lot of guy friends, and when I think about men, I'm not thinking about them.
No, because they're like your little. Those are my
You know
little
what I mean?
guys.
I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of interesting. I'm like men at large. And then I have all these like male friends that I hang out with constantly. And I'm like, they're so soft and they're very different. So yeah. Well, all my male friends are like, all my friends are lesbians and trans people. So I'm like,
right.
When you were like beginning to transition, were there any kind of like gender role models or like fashion style, or like was there anybody that was your ideal or someone that you kept coming back to as like inspo?
Yeah, kind of. But I feel like all of the stuff that I liked was like kind of masculine, where it was like, oh, I love Scully on X-Files, or I love Aaliyah, or I love like Sade in the 90s. And it's like, okay, well, those women are wearing like giant slacks.
Yes.
And like, and button-down shirts. And so it would be like, okay, well, I wear this early in my transition and it's not giving what I wanted to get. I went so in the opposite direction where I was like trying to wear like as much like feminine stuff as possible. I only wore heels for like 2 years or something. Whoa. You know what I mean? But I now have just kind of started to fall back into this thing where like, look, I'm like a lesbian, basically. I'm trans. Like I can have a little masculinity as a trait.
As a treat.
Which I think is something like so many trans girls do, where they like go so far in one direction and then you see them like 5 years into their transition and they're like so butch. I don't think I'm going to get there necessarily.
Yeah, but you realize like, oh, actually I'm a tomboy. I'm not like the super.
Yeah. But you have to work through so much shit to like find what your like actual personality is as a woman, you know?
Absolutely.
Totally.
I think I've always been fluid. Like I, as a child, kind of refused to wear like femme clothing. Like, for example, my dad works for Russell Simmons, unfortunately, but like I had a never ending supply of baby fat and he would send it by the box. And I refused to wear any of it because I was like, I can't fuck with rhinestones. I don't like logos. I need shorts and a t-shirt from Sears.
Yeah.
Like I need to be a sim in the universe. Like after I went through that phase, I was like, okay, now I just want to wear like jet rag, like big t-shirts and like shorts and hoodies. And then I was like, oh, I'm indie. Like I'm wearing floral dresses. And grandfather's shoes. Like, it's just like so many things, like, and so many ways I've expressed myself through these. And then, like, it kind of just all turned into this one, like, monster lately where I was, like, sometimes hyper feminine, like, from the rave American Apparel. And then sometimes I'm just, like, in, like, slacks and a hoodie. And that's how I prefer to be seen. I think I'm still like that. But like, it's interesting to like go from, oh, like I'm a Black femme. And I think to a level of how I feel like some older dykes will not claim non-binariness or maskness as a political stance. Like, no, I'm a she, her, down boots. Like that's kind of in the way that I like will continue to claim Black femininity.
Yes.
As like, it's my political stance, like I am Black femme because I need to protect other Black femmes as well.
I guess in your mind, like what exactly is a queer haircut? I feel like right now the mullet is kind of like a universal queer cut, but what do you think is like a queer haircut?
I mean, I don't think you'd be that surprised to know that I don't really think that there is a queer haircut. It's whatever fucking haircut you're wearing if you're queer, and you should focus on just living your best queer life. When people come in and they're like, I just want to look gayer. It's like, okay, let's unpack that.
Right.
You know, what does that mean for you? I think that also people want haircuts that make them feel aligned with their gender feelings of that time. And all those things are so specific. If they mean they want a more masculine haircut or more feminine haircut or whatever it is that they mean, like show me some pictures because Yes. That's a gay boy, you know, that's a twink or whatever that you're showing me a photo of and being like, a more masculine hair. So I'm kind of okay, just show me like what that means to you.
Troy
Like, you want to look like a gay.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm like, you want to look like a Victorian vampire? Okay, that's where we can go there. And is that queer? Sure.
Okay, we talked to a lot of people about expression, and I feel like that is so part of the trans experience is just like style, hair, how much that's changing. I really loved what Pascal had to say about I can have a little masculinity as a treat.
Right, exactly. I will say the 3 people we just heard from, all huge style inspirations. I'm like kind of obsessed with like all of them.
Yes.
Like I'm on Instagram, like I'm like, oh my God, Alima looks so good. Like, oh my God, this looks so good. Pascal looks so good. Yeah, I relate so heavily to what Alima especially said about like being a Black femme and Black femininity. Cause like, I think I've talked about that where like, again, when I thought I was trans masc, part of that is just like, oh, I'm gender variant in some way. That means I need to like reject what I am now, which is like feminine, right? And I think we've talked about, you know, how like sometimes trans masc folks like do feel that pressure to like completely reject femininity, for example. But it's like, no, again, like these things are actually like still really important to me. And I feel like I'm just in the exact same place where I'm like, yeah, some days it's giving really boxy, big shirts and sweaters, but sometimes I'm going to wear like a little skirt.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't like negate anything or whatever.
Yeah, totally. Back to like the just feeling of freedom thing is like such a cool part about expanding your mind in this like trans way where it's like, oh, I'm just going to wear what feels right in the moment. And so, yeah, it's fun to talk about stuff that can change pretty rapidly, like hair or clothes. Yes. And that can maybe really keep up with your sense of like exploration and freedom.
Totally. I'm really into clothes. I think a lot about clothes. I am not shopping right now. And it's been so good. You just have to get so much more creative when you're not buying a bunch of shit.
Yeah, totally. Or like, I think that that's like just a compulsion of mine. Like I'm just like on eBay constantly.
Yes.
I was trying to do that
It's eBay for me too. It's eBay for me too.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some like joy in that, but it's nice to be able to pump the brakes for yourself and just be like, okay, how about I just enjoy what I have for a little bit?
Or to prove that to yourself that like you can also. Like I think part of this is proving myself like I can do this. I can.
This is your dry January.
No, it literally is. Like but I'm trying to still get dressed every day and like yeah, you have to get more creative. Like I'm excited. Like the next set of braids I'm getting, because I think Alys and I talked about like braids also. I'm getting like blonde, like bust down to my ass, like full length braids. And I'm so excited because I'm like, oh my God, that changes my look so much without having to like buy clothes. And then like I can like tap into that vibe, which is a completely different vibe. And I'm just like, hell yes. Like expression is actually so fun. Like getting dressed is so fun.
Good. Alys actually cut my hair before MSG.
Are you serious? I was gonna say I loved your haircut.
Thank you. Yeah.
It looks really good.
It was really fun to like talk and get to chat and be like, oh, it's you from my Zoom screen.
What was the inspiration for your haircut? It's like giving little lad, like in the best way possible. Do you know what I mean? Like it's really good.
I tried to just go like a little bit more extreme than I normally would, just as like, oh, we're doing this special show. Yes. And so the sides are actually like totally shaved.
It's good.
And it goes down in like a mohawk kind of. It's a mullet, but a little bit more dirt bag.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah, they were really fun to collab with. You know what I really loved about what they had to say was, I feel like they highlighted this false binary that I feel like trans people also fall into, where we're like, this is masc, this is femme. And they just made it so much more detailed. They're like, let's get into the details. That's where it's like actually fun. Like, do you want to look like a Victorian vampire? Like, are we calling that masc or femme? Like, let's get rid of these binary terms and get creative.
They're kind of cop-outs a little bit, like in a way.
Totally.
Like, I just want to look masc, I want to look femme. And they were just like, okay, but like actually, like, what do you mean? Like, can you actually tell me like what you want? Like, and why do you want it? And like, let's unpack that a little bit, you know? I love that.
That feels like the whole like assignment of being gender expansive, of being like, let's like not rest on these kind of like big clunky generalizations and let's get specific.
It is hard sometimes to find clinicians who can speak up or who are willing to speak up. And I think it's essential for us to speak up. It's so important for clinicians in the field to talk about their work with their friends and their family. The people who might not know someone or know that they know someone who is trans. If it's your friend who is a doctor, is this is what I do and it's awesome. And I get to watch these kids blossom and become who they are and succeed in life. One of my 17-year-olds is learning how to do nails and skin right now. One of my 19-year-olds is in computer science at university, and they're just becoming who they are. And it's so fun to watch. And if we talk about that with our regular upper middle class white friends who maybe don't get a connection to queer and trans community, and the ways that we do, that can be impactful. Because the misinformation and malinformation and disinformation, it's confusing a lot of people.
I feel so strongly about this. I don't like that the people who made the rules about trans engagement were white people. Because it's literally you can't.
It's about politeness.
About don't ask that. You can't ask that. If you want to interact with a trans person, it's got to be this way. And they created a dynamic with non-trans people of fear and of whatever. And it's oh, it's disrespectful if you even whatever. And obviously everything's in balance. Everything's gray. There is no black and white in the world in terms of ideas and whatever. Yeah. And so I just but I just don't like that we've created this situation where it's kind of if you want to interact with a trans person, read this 200-page book about, and it's I think it's made things a little worse, to be honest.
Totally. I agree. I like that you bring up Oakland as kind of this example of just different people having to live together, because I think that's just one of those places where you just see it so much on the ground. My neighborhood, it's formerly used to be a black neighborhood, but now it's mostly Chinese and Viet, as long as my parents have lived there. And it's people, you just have to live together. We all mind our business. And what's super interesting is because of gentrification, a lot more trans people have been moving into the neighborhood, which is a new, interesting dynamic. Sorry, not to equate trans people with gentrification, but it is kind of what's happening. It's a very interesting...
Real. It's complicated.
It's part of it. It's what's happening. And so it is this very interesting thing where I know some trans folks who've moved to my parents' neighborhood now, but they're fucking with the Vietnamese auntie on the corner. Everyone's chill,
And really a lot of I feel a lot of elders in these communities that we're talking about, they really do ultimately see trans people as kind of artists or creatives, or kind of they associate transness with being different. And I feel that there is some ancestry to that. Obviously in a lot of different cultures, trans people were in their communities spiritual leaders, creative leaders, things like that. And I feel there is kind of there is a history and a lineage of trans people being different. And I think that is another part of whiteness in trans culture of we're normal. We're normal, and we're just like you. We're just like you. We deserve to be bank tellers and farm. And I'm no, I don't want to be a bank teller. It's we get to be an office assistant.
I don't want to
just
have a
like
job.
you.
Yes.
It's no, bitch. We were never supposed to be office assistants. We were spiritual leaders. So I feel with older generations, they do see trans people as different, and that's okay. It's okay that we're different.
What I really liked about Nori's thing at the end that I think about so much is bridge building and collective power and all of that stuff, and how important it will be for us to not be so precious about someone getting your pronouns wrong.
Totally.
When you're at a neighborhood council meeting and you're talking to some guy and you're both really working on rent freezes, but you're oh, this person is going to say something I find very problematic, but how do we build those bridges and see some of this literacy as access and privilege, that we have all of this knowledge and people aren't going to get it right away.
I've been really surprised by actually how malleable my parents have been, not with me, never with me, but with my trans friends. At one point my mom was she-theying interchangeably the boots down of one of my friends. So it's
God.
I think if you are just normal and nice to people, people are also just gonna be oh, this is that person that I like, and they also just like happen to be trans.
Totally.
And it's happening. And so I think like I talked in that clip with Nori about like, I totally see that in like my parents' neighborhood back home. And it's like, it's happening.
Totally.
Different types of folks are living together, and it will continue happening, and it's always happened.
You've heard from us a lot this season. In our recap end of season 2 episode, we wanted to like set aside a chunk of time to hear from the listeners, from you. We asked the question, what does queer media mean to you? Or what are your thoughts on current day queer media? And this is what you had to say.
Hi, Gender Spiral.
Hello.
Hi.
Kia ora, Babette and Beardsley.
Hi, Ali Babette.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Is this thing on?
My name is Blake. Dale.
Max. Johanna.
I'm Charlie from Aotearoa, New Zealand.
Jay. Nick. Gabby. Shelby.
Tex.
Jorge.
Gwen. My pronouns are they, them, they, he.
They, she, him pronouns.
Any pronouns.
I identify as
a gender.
A sad Aries.
Gender fluid and a lesbian.
47 and non-binary.
Virgo.
Cancer sun, Pisces rising, and Taurus moon.
You asked what queer media means to me. My answer is that
I really needed queer media in order to understand myself.
Queer media opened up other worlds for me, other ways of being, where I've actually been able to look out and say, oh, that's me. That's what I feel. This is who I am, and this rocks.
Trans and queer voices in media are so important.
I've spent so much of my life watching non-queer media and making it queer in my head. It will never not excite me to see open queerness in media.
It gives us imagery and language outside the confines of cis heteronormativity.
Queer people making queer media is the way I've learned about myself.
Queer media is incredibly important because I love pissing off cis het people with my own existence and the beautiful, messy existence of other queer people. Queer media is such a breath of fresh air in such a smog-covered world.
the creation of queer media is our fight against other narratives. Other places can interpret what we say and do, but they can't take our art away from us. It has the power to connect with folks across time and space.
Pieces of queer media I really like are...
I saw the TV glow. Transness and queerness can feel like an insane fantasy and something so separate from your reality. And putting that into a movie with the message like there's still time is just so powerful.
I love poetry by trans and non-binary poets, and I am one myself. My gender isn't contained by a neat prose definition. My gender can only be expressed through poetry.
I'm really listening to Tyler, the Creator, right now. His newest album was fucking awesome.
Glee was a very big part of queer media representation for me growing up.
Dungeons and Dragons live play shows.
Ali, it meant a lot to kind of watch you transition over Dimension 20 seasons and having all your trans character representation and stuff.
I love listening to trans podcasts. I also listen to Translash by Imara Jones and Gender Reveal with Talk Woodstock.
I'm so thankful for the Gender Spiral Pod and for all of the trans creators and queer creators who give me the words that I need to explain myself to me and potentially to my family.
I just dearly love the podcast and this season, especially how it's delved into where transness and religion and spirituality overlap.
I loved your episode, The Sands of Time. As Black queer trans archivist, I love a little trip down memory lane with people. Also, Babette, go to the Sexual Minorities Archives in Holyoke, I beg.
I think my favorite episode was the one about trans surgeries. I don't think a lot of people, even queer people, think to do research on some of those topics or even where to start.
I really liked the discussion of the Translat album.
As a long time person on YouTube, I just appreciated the chance to catch up with Charlotte McDonald as well.
I think something special about this season was actually the episodes we got to revisit previous guests or people that you'd spoken to about these topics before. In the cis-het community especially, they look at identity as a transfixed and non-movable. Once you announce it, that's where you are. Instead of seeing it as an ever-evolving identity, our self never stays transfixed in one place. So I think it's beautiful giving your guests a chance to come back and even be able to hear themselves before where they were in their previous part of their journey and where they are now.
I just wanted to exclaim how important your pod is, at least for like trans representation, because even in a lot of queer media, there isn't a lot of trans perspectives.
Gender Spiral is one of my favorite podcasts because of how in-depth you both go on the intersectionality of transness. Sometimes discussions on our identities are so surface level and often had without our input. It's so refreshing to have a space that's willing to talk about specific parts of being trans.
So it's beautiful to learn the perspective of people who are much older than me and been in the LGBTQ community for much longer than me.
I really value this podcast. It's one of those rare spaces for such varied and nuanced conversations about gender. And it's really helped me along my non-binary journey.
Because of listening to Gender Spiral, I actually started taking testosterone, which has been the best.
I started listening to Gender Spiral while I was traveling to my consult appointment for top surgery. I'm currently 8 days post-op, so this podcast has been kind of life-changing.
I have 3 or 4 friends who are also super trans and also listen to the podcast, and it feels like a book club. Every week we text each other about what we liked about the podcast, about what we thought.
I am writing a paper on Gender Spiral and specifically what this specific piece of queer media means and could mean to people in terms of not feeling alone and also being a way to share information about trans people and just investigating gender in a way that's digestible for people who aren't surrounded by queer people all the time.
I'm able to see myself represented.
Hearing trans voices helps me feel less alone and shitty about myself.
I'm not alone, and I will never be alone.
I am not alone. There are communities out there that I can find and be a part of.
And I can join in on imagining a trans future.
It's so important that we continue to foster queer media so we have a point of reference to understand ourselves.
People deserve to know that their stories could make other people feel seen.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you guys.
Thanks to you both for another wonderful season of Gender Spiral.
Love you all. Take care. Drink water.
Bye.
Are you crying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful.
Thank you so much to everyone who called in with a voicemail this season.
Yeah.
Allie and I are like here like misty-eyed and tearful because we just appreciate you guys so much. And like I said, it feels still shocking to me that like people listen to this.
Yeah.
And it just like means so much to hear from you all. So thank you.
I hope that this project can be like a nice outlet for people as things in specifically America take a crusty little turn. But we're excited for season 3. We're going to start on that sometime soon. So look out for that.
Thanks for listening to season 2. And a special thanks to every single one of our guests from this season. Like Ali said, we'll be back in a couple months with new episodes. But until then, be sure to keep an eye out for bonus content on our feed and on our Patreon and maybe even some special announcements.
Ooh,
Merch. Midwest Live
That's
Show.
Right.
Yeah. Stay tuned. Gender Spiral is an original podcast from Audiation. This episode was mixed by Matt Noble, and music is composed by CMD plus Jasmine, courtesy of Molten Heart, with art by Joey Hahn and graphics by Michael Tyrone Delaney. The show is executive produced by Ireland Meacham, myself, Babette Thomas, my co-host, Allie Beardsley, and Sandy Smullins, with additional story editing from Susie Armitage. If you like the show, please head over to patreon.com/genderspiralpodcast to support us. You can also check us out at genderspiralpod.com, where you'll find transcripts for each episode and a link to leave us a voicemail.
And follow us on Instagram. It's at Gender Spiral. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss a new episode.
Audiation.